Vice President JD Vance has sparked fresh controversy after floating a new theory about the murder of his close friend and conservative activist Charlie Kirk, claiming he believes there may have been more people involved than just the man accused of pulling the trigger. Kirk was shot and killed in September last year while speaking at a rally at Utah Valley University. The man accused of carrying out the attack, 23-year-old Tyler Robinson, appeared in court this week for a preliminary hearing where prosecutors argued he targeted Kirk because of his political beliefs and are seeking the death penalty. Robinson has not entered a plea. Speaking to the Daily Wire, Vance said there was no doubt in his mind that Robinson was the gunman. He said, quote, "I think the evidence is clear that he pulled the trigger and killed Charlie Kirk." But the vice president went a step further, saying he has always wondered whether others played a role in the killing. Vance said, quote, "I'm always going to wonder what was said and how many contacts he had beforehand." He added that he believes it would be difficult for someone to become radicalized like that without encouragement from others, whether formally or informally. Vance went on to say, quote, "I think there are a lot of people with blood on their hands in the case of Charlie Kirk, but the person most directly responsible is Tyler Robinson." However, he also acknowledged there is no evidence proving Robinson communicated with anyone before the shooting. Vance said, quote, "Do I know they communicated with Tyler Robinson before the shooting? No, I don't have evidence for that." Instead, he argued that left-wing radicals had created an atmosphere where political violence had become acceptable, saying that message ultimately influenced the accused gunman. The comments come after journalists Jonathan Swan and Maggie Haberman wrote in their best-selling book Regime Change that Vance became deeply consumed by theories surrounding Kirk's death. According to the book, his instincts told him there was a larger plot behind the killing, and he reportedly spent hours going down online rabbit holes to the point that his wife Usha Vance became concerned. For now, Robinson's case remains in the preliminary hearing stage, where the court is only deciding whether there's enough evidence for the case to proceed to trial, a much lower legal threshold than proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Meanwhile, prosecutors continue to stand by their case. An ATF firearms expert told the court that bullet fragments produced an inconclusive forensic match, but stressed that the finding does not rule out the suspected murder weapon.
Were you informed at some point that there was a discrepancy between what you were examining and what had been documented by the medical examiner in terms of the number of bullet fragments?
I was, yes.
Were you asked to see if maybe the ATF had lost certain portions of the evidence?
No, I was not.
Right. Do you think, and was it your understanding that there were originally 7 bullet fragments, but you ended up with 4?
I was alerted that there was potentially 7 fragments from the medical examiner in a photo just a few months ago.
Okay. You're clear, though, that when you got the evidence, it was in a sealed condition, correct?
It was, yes.
And when you opened, what was it, an envelope?
A small individual manila envelope, yes.
And did you take the contents of the envelope containing the bullet and take photographs of it?
I did, yes.
Okay. Could you display page 41 of 47, that exhibit? And tell us what's depicted here.
Yes, this is a picture of the as-received condition of Exhibit 6 in its entirety. That's the top picture. So you'll see Exhibit 6A all the way through 6E in descending order. And then the bottom 2 photos on the left is the Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment, and that is the view of the exterior. And then the photograph on the right is the Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment, and that's the view of the interior.
Mr. Burt, your witness.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Could you tell us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Samantha Carner.
And Ms. Carner, what do you do for a living?
I am a firearm and toolmark examiner.
And where are you stationed?
I currently work at the Forensic Science Laboratory in Washington for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
And how long have you been employed at that location?
A little over 6 years.
What generally do you do there? What area of expertise do you have?
I am assigned to the Firearm and Toolmark Unit, so I receive items of evidence related to firearms, tools, tool marks, and fired ammunition components.
At the request of the state of Utah, did you conduct certain examinations relevant to this case?
I did, yes.
Could you bring up State 32 in evidence?
And do you want it, Mr. Burt?
Yes, I think.
On all screens?
All screens, it's admitted and
Okay.
I think approved
All
for
right, let's go ahead and put
publication.
it on all screens because this was admitted and published previously. All right.
You recognize plaintiff's exhibit number 32?
I do, yes.
Are you the author of this report?
I am, yes.
Okay. What were you asked to do in relation to the examination that's documented in this report?
For the Submission 1 report, I received a firearm, cartridge case, 3 cartridges, 1 bullet jacket fragment, and 4 lead fragments. I was asked to test fire the firearm and compare the test fires to the cartridge case and the bullet jacket fragment. I also was asked to do a tool mark characterization on the cartridge case and the cartridges, and then I also ran a general rifling characteristic search on the bullet jacket fragment.
Okay. And are your conclusions accurately documented in your report?
Yes.
Could you turn to page 2 of the report? Second, bottom of the page. Those 2 paragraphs, please. Did you write in your report, these conclusions conform with the relevant Department of Justice policy on uniform language for testimony?
Yes, that is always added to our reports.
And do you have a standard operating procedure that requires that in each examination you do, this language has to be in there?
We do, yes.
Okay. And I want to ask you to review the document that is referenced in that language, which would be, and this is just for her only, Exhibit 11. Let me know when you can see that. Are you able to view that?
Yes.
Is this the ATS, is this a language referred to in your report?
It is,
The
yes.
written policy of the Department of Justice concerning uniform language for testimony and reports for the forensic firearm tool mark discipline pattern examination?
It is, yes.
I move that into evidence.
This is, what is the title of this exhibit?
Your Honor, this would be Carner 11.
All right, and what level of publication are you requesting, Mr. Burt?
Both public and admittance into evidence.
To this date?
No objection.
All right, Carner 11 is admitted into evidence and may be published on screens and captured by the camera.
Thank you. And you can publish that? Ms. Carner, can you tell us what the purpose and scope of this document is?
Yes, this is the DOJ Department of Justice's uniform language for testimony and report, and it standardizes the appropriate language an examiner will use during reporting and their testimony. And DOJ published this to standardize the wording that examiners would use across their forensic laboratories.
And was this published in part because of some criticism that the prior testimony, not by you, but by other people, may have gone beyond the bounds of science?
I don't know why DOJ published it. It was before my time.
Do you know how long this has been the policy of the Department of Justice?
I do not off the top of my head, no.
Are the reports that you issued in relation to this case in conformity with this policy?
They are, yes.
Okay. Now, could you go to page 3 of that report? Where it says qualifications and limitation of firearm tool mark discipline examination. You're familiar with that part of the policy, correct?
I am, yes.
And the portion of the policy that says a conclusion provided during testimony or in a report is ultimately an examiner's decision and is not based on a statistically derived or verified measurement or comparison to all other firearms or tool marks. Therefore, an examiner shall not, and then it lists several propositions. You're familiar with that language?
I am, yes.
And it says that an examiner shall not assert that a source identification or a source exclusion conclusion is based on uniqueness of an item of evidence. Your report is not meant to imply something contrary to what's stated here, is it?
No, it's not meant to contract.
You're not asserting that a source identification is based on the uniqueness of an item of evidence.
No, I am not.
And the reason you're not doing that is because you haven't examined all possible items of evidence that could be relevant to your comparisons, correct?
I have not looked at every firearm that's been manufactured in the world, nor have I looked at every tool that's been manufactured in the world. That's correct.